Now the first thing I do with any new car I buy is pull it to bits. I do this because I want to flatten the chassis, I want to check the float on the pod, I want to glue the motor into the pod, I want to work out what ride height I run, I want to replace any rims that aren't the sort that I want, and I also want to get the front wheels glued and true, as well as choose the right guide for my car. So this is always my first step. Now when it comes to preparing your pod, these are two of the most important things that I do that I don't think not a lot of many people do. I won't cover the filing out of all of this and getting rid of the burrs on the outside of the pod. That's a common thing that most people do and everyone knows. The two things I want to focus on are the part of the pod that mounts onto the chassis. Lots of these have some burrs and some bits and pieces on them which aren't great. So the best thing you can do is get a drill and just deburr them, not only here but also on the chassis, and even just give them a light sand just to make sure the part that touches is nice and smooth and has nothing that can grab. So that's one of the most important things which not a lot of people do. Now one of the main things with sideways cars is lots of them tend to have a bit of a shudder under brakes, and lots of people don't know how to solve it. They say their motor's screwed in, they've done everything to float of the pod, but the main reason why that happens is these screws and this way it's mounted doesn't really do a hell of a lot. It doesn't secure the motor. All my motors, I glue them in with Araldite. I use 5-minute Araldite because once it's in, if you need to get it back out, you can crack it and it can come back out again, and it doesn't destroy the pod. But have a look at this. This is how the pod comes standard, screwed in, and look at this. It twists in the pod. And lots of people think that that is in there tight, and it's not. So you need to glue it. And not just the ends, the whole way around. So it's extremely important. And not only on sideways cars, I do it on my NSR, on my Slotted, on any car that's got a pod. I glue the whole way around on every motor. Now with every sideways car you buy, you get a little bag of these in the base of the box. These give you different ride height, so you can adjust the ride height. You can either have a 1mm offset, a 0.5mm offset, or have the standard, which doesn't have any offset. It also has some other little motor mount gizmos and a little front plate, angle one if you want to have 2 mount points rather than one. I tend to run the 0.5, but again, it depends on whether you're racing on a magnet track, on a normal track which doesn't require lowering the car, and just depends on also the size of the rim that you use. Here are some ways to do some additional bracing to your pod. Some people might use the old style like piano wire and attach it to the rear and glue it to the motor to try and stiffen it. The latest thing that I've been using are the Slotting Plus Combi Plus axle braces, which just fit straight in. They've got the bearings inserted in them and they work extremely well. But again, I'd say the most important part is still gluing the motor, but you can also see the difference in some of the pods. This is a later pod. It's got more height to it, so it's a bit stiffer, whereas the old pod hasn't got anywhere near as much. So again, you can get different performance by having a newer pod than an older pod, but still, if it's all glued in and secured, it should still work just as good. Now, almost the biggest performance gain in these cars I find is getting rid of these rims. These rims aren't air rims, and the actual original tyres they run are quite average as well, and they don't provide a lot of grip. So I always replace my rims with air rims. There's a slotted rim that I run, or an NSR rim. I'll list them at the end of the video for the parts and the tyres that I use, and you can give that a go, and I guarantee you that will improve your car beyond belief. Now with the front rims and tyres, I make sure I glue the tyre on the rim and then I true it. I always chamfer heavily towards the inside because that's just drag we don't need. We just need it on the outside for the highest point. And then once I've finished doing that, I will coat them in super glue and give them a light sand so they become zero grip. And as you can see, these ones are quite nice and shiny and smooth and ready to go on the car. Now when it comes to the guide, the standard guide's quite a nice guide, but the braids are shocking. They are so stiff that any car will bounce with them in them. So in most cars, one of the first things I replace is the braid. I put a softer braid in. I tend to run the NSR braid. I think that's one of the nicest. But also in this car, if I'm racing, I'll stick a deep wood guide in it. I tend to use a slot-up guide in these cars, but I tend to stick with whatever the brand of the car is to the same deep wood guide it's got, because that tends to be what happens in our races. But yeah, so that's an important thing too, depending on the depth of the lane you're racing on. Now the only little bit of super glue I use on my pod is for this little part here. It sits in there on the pod and it can move around, and again we want to make the pod as stiff as we can. So the only spot I put super glue is here, because it's going to be a good way of stiffening up the pod, and we don't use araldite because araldite's quite thick and it can change the location of how it mounts. So just a little bit of super glue on there, push it together, and then just leave that to set. One other big issue with some of the sideways cars is the body. Now the end of the motor shaft can rub right here on the inside of this car. So not only on the Porsche, it does it on some of the others like the BMW maybe, the Lancia, but definitely have a look and see if you've got a wear mark on your body there. Because if this end of the shaft is rubbing, it will inhibit the float and not make your car go as good. So what I tend to do is chop the end of the shaft off on the motor. Here's 3 examples of my sideways cars with 3 different pods. On the right, I've got a Porsche and it's got the stiff sideways Group 5 red pod in it. The middle one's got the standard pod, and the one on the left's got a offset slot-up pod. If I tend to run weight in the cars, I always tend to stick it in the pod. Sometimes these cars do lift up at the front and I put a little bit behind the guide, but I also sometimes need to put a guide washer underneath the guide, because as you can see, even on some of these cars, there is some wear on the front of the car where it's been scraping on the track. So you may need to just raise the ride height a little bit at the front. What I do now is I run the car off this little AA battery. I guess it's around 3 volts. And what I do is I araldite my back bearings in. So that's quite an important thing. It'll get rid of any chance of it having any bounce, but I always do it while I've got the back axle spinning. I just don't want to have it stick to anything that it shouldn't. And also while it's going, it'll find the best spot where it's probably the least amount of resistance, and it'll find it and it should just stay in that spot and keep the axle secure. So see how you go with that. Now with this car, there's one important factor with this one as well. I've added a tiny little piece of plastic on the inside of the body. What that does is stops the chassis floating too much back and forth, because the wheels will hit the guards if it goes back too far that way. So as you can see, when I remove the chassis, there's a little piece of plastic right there, and that will fix this problem. So here's the car, everything's done on it now, and we'll compare it to how it was before I touched it. Much faster and much quieter.